Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Velasquez Show. Welcome to another episode. This is a Father's Day special.
It
So,
is.
happy
It
Father's Day
is.
to all the fathers out there. And today we are going to talk about
Fathers.
parenthood, fatherhood. And I don't know if you guys remember him from the last podcast, but the one and only Piero.
What's up, my guys?
Welcome back.
Thank you, Jeffrey. I'm here. We're gonna talk about fatherhood.
And this is a very good episode because we're gonna discuss. You're a new father, right? You're a new parent. You got a 4 or 5 year old, right?
4 months.
4 months.
Okay.
Four. I meant 4. I meant 4 months. I didn't mean year.
Okay, yeah. She's gonna be 5 months.
Yeah. So, we're gonna discuss about the experiences of how it feels to be a father for the first time, and also we're gonna speak about if we ever been, like, for example, I haven't had a father, so I would discuss my experience with that. And if you haven't had a father, I'm sure you're gonna discuss your experience with that. And the thing is, like, I have planned this where like other people could come and share their experiences with their fathers, like if they had parents, if they had both parents in the household, how was their life, how did it impact their life, and what experiences they have having a father, right?
Yeah.
But unfortunately they weren't able to make it. And I think that's something I would have liked to hear from somebody that had a father, to see if there was something I could have learned, something I could have maybe missed out growing up, right? So, no further ado, let's do it. Welcome to the show, Piero. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you making the trip. I apologize for the technical difficulties we had earlier, but we're here and we're ready to go.
We're here. We're good.
And, I'm happy to know that we have people that watch us, people that are learning about us. And please continue to like our videos, watch our videos, and share them, because it really helps us in the channel. It helps with the algorithm, but most importantly, the support that we get from you guys.
Yeah.
Keep
supporting so we can make more videos.
That's right, because that's what's gonna encourage us and motivate us to keep creating content. And I think we do our best to be as professional as possible to give you guys the best sound, the best quality of video possible, so you guys enjoy what we do and what we talk about.
And remember, this is free quality content. Everything here is good. Camera's good, microphone's good, hosts are good, everything is good. So who subscribe, hit the like button, share with your friends, your family, anyone you got, like, got YouTube, share with them. That's all we need. That's all we want from you.
I couldn't set it better myself, I just couldn't set it better myself. So,
yeah, that's it.
I appreciate the love, and let's get down to business. So, Piero, let me ask you a question. You as in, how does it feel to be a dad? I think that's one of the most important questions I will be asking you tonight. How does it feel?
It's a new experience. It's different. Right now, I'm still in awe. Like, I'm in shock. I'm still processing it. It's been 5 months, but every time I see my kid after I come from work, it's a different experience. It's like nothing I can explain. Like, it's not something I can say, describe. Like, I don't know. I'm just happy every day. It's like I have like this extra motivation when I come home. Like, I meet my kid, and everything is like every problem I have outside that, when I see my kids, it's over. I mean, I don't know if like there's words to express how I feel, but it feels good. It feels good.
Do you feel like when you get home, do you feel like maybe once you see her, you feel like you get energized to have reasons to, like, do better?
Yeah, for sure.
And not just do better, but at the same time knowing that what you're doing now has a purpose, and the purpose is her, and that's the first reason that comes to your head, and why everything that you do matters right now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even working on myself, the last podcast I was talking about, like, we need to focus on ourselves a little bit more. We need to be a little bit more selfish. And thinking about that right now, I'm putting my kid in the middle. Like, when I go home, I have like this extra energy. I go to the gym like with this extra energy, even though I'm tired from work or whatever. I go to the gym because I want to be healthy for my kid. You know, it's like it's a motivation I get from seeing her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Um. Well, I can tell you when I first became a dad, I was really scared. You know, I
Yeah.
was. I guess because in my experience was that I know you're married and I know you had somebody. I see the ring. I see the ring. And ¿cómo se llama? And I was very scared because as a first time dad, not being with the person that I had my kid with, um, I think it was like I just had more questions than answers because I'm like, okay, how am I gonna do this? Especially barely joining the military, right?
Yeah.
It was like I was in for like maybe 5 6 months in, and I found out that I had a kid, right? Um, in my case, it's a little bit scary because there was a lot of things going on during this time. They didn't want to tell me, like her mother didn't want to tell me, like she was gonna have my kid, right? And I had to find out by asking her directly if it was mine, and I was told that they didn't want me to know about it.
Wait, wait. So you know she was pregnant, but you know it was yours.
I knew she was pregnant. I knew that, okay, because so during that time I was in the Matrix. I had social media, right? So they
Okay.
post everything.
Yeah.
So whenever they posted pictures of like the ultrasounds and stuff, I'm like, okay, that's nice, congratulations, right? But I never thought that it was gonna be mine, right?
Okay.
Um, then when I asked her, hey, whose is it? Is it mine? She was like, yeah, and I'm like, why didn't you tell me? I know, it's childish.
Nah, that's
And then, well, wait, I didn't want to tell you because I didn't know if you wanted to be with me, but I mean, I still wanted to know if it's mine, because I want to be there. I didn't want to be
yeah.
like my father. I didn't have a father,
Yeah.
so I didn't want to be that guy in my family that wasn't gonna be there because I know how it feels not having a father.
Yeah. That's something I always have in mind because like I didn't have a father either. So like my first thing when I was thinking about having this child, I was like I had to be there. I have to be there. I don't want to be like what my father was to me. Nothing. So I wanted to be there. Like even though I want to be more time with her, I want to spend more time with her. But yeah, I want to be present, and I know it has to be hard. Like not being able to be with your child.
Yeah, and but I think in your case, I think it's a little better because you're married with them, you live with them,
Yeah.
so you guys work together as a team. You guys have like a home together. And then during this time, man, I can tell you that I was getting ready to go to Japan, so that wasn't gonna make it easier either.
Yeah.
So I left to Japan, and of course, I was sending her money. I was sending her stuff. I was buying her things and sending them. I was sending her things that I was buying for her overseas. So I was doing my best to like show presence,
Yeah.
while I was far. But of course, I think her family had like something against me because um I didn't want to be with her. I didn't want to be with her mom. So I think one of the things was that they got angry at me because I didn't want to be with her.
Why?
I didn't. I felt like she wasn't like the person I wanted to be with. I just didn't want to be with. I didn't want to be with her. I feel like she wasn't the one.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that. I don't know how else to put it. I mean, there's no other excuses or there's no other reasons. I just felt like she wasn't the one. I didn't see myself with her, and at the end of the day, I think as selfish as it sounds, I'm glad that I didn't end up with her because I probably would have, disrespected her in so many ways, like cheated on her. I probably would have left her. I mean, she wasn't gonna be the one. So why
Yeah.
go through all those problems knowing that I wasn't gonna be happy with them?
Yeah. Have to be
So
honest
so
with
it,
yourself.
and those are tough decisions, right? Because you think about your kid, you
Yeah.
think about how it's gonna affect them. Um,
And when you wanna break the circle, like you don't want to happen again.
Of
Like
course not. But the thing is, like, it happened again. It happened again with the second. With this time, I was actually married. I actually tried to make things work with this woman, and she's the mother of my second child. Um, and in this case, sometimes I wonder if it's me, right? But then sometimes I wonder, like, wait a minute, there's no way it's all me. And then sometimes I feel like, it's like a half and half kind of thing. Like, okay, I'm doing my part, but maybe they're doing their part, but maybe we're just okay. I'm gonna tell you right now, the reason why the second time didn't work around is because we weren't compatible. We all had like similar traits, and you can have two captains on one ship running the ship, and somebody wanted to run the ship, but they weren't doing anything to maintain the ship, and I was running the ship and I was maintaining the ship, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm doing everything possible to make sure we're afloat, but then they are running their own show, but it's not as what's the word I'm looking for? It's like she wasn't doing stuff for the whole crew. She was doing it just for herself. And I'm like, okay, that's nice, but I'm not doing things for myself. I'm doing it for everybody.
yeah, you think about everyone.
Yeah, and I wasn't selfish because as a man I can't be selfish when it comes to family. I have to provide for my family.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I work. That's the only reason why I get up every day when I don't want to. This is the reason why I go to the gym when I don't want to. This is the reason why I try to find ways to make money when I don't want to, because it gets me out of my comfort zone. It makes me suffer. It causes me pain. It causes me stress. But at least I know that all that stress is gonna be to provide for my family. So that's why I think that a lot of women, in my opinion, don't know how to appreciate that when they have it, and that's when you have a good man that just leaves you.
Yeah, for sure. For
and,
sure.
and fatherhood is not easy. Let me tell you, fatherhood is very difficult. It's very difficult because um, in society we are held at a higher standard, and I know a lot of people are gonna disagree with it, but men are the ones that are expected to like be the hard leader in the household. Like, for example, who is gonna resolve the problems? Who you gonna look up to, the guy or the girl? If the home invasion happens, who is the one that's supposed to go get a gun or machete or something to protect the family? It's not the girl, it's the man. And that comes with financial responsibility, emotional responsibility, stability, and among other things. You gotta be a mechanic, you gotta be a plumber, you gotta be a policeman, you have to be a military guy, you have to be a soldier, you have to be the one that's gonna protect the family in every angle possible, not just working either. I mean, you have to be well rounded with a lot of things as a man. You gotta be the fireman, you gotta be the yard man, you have to be
Yeah,
the
but
painter, you have to be everything. You have to be.
but you can be everything. You can really be everything.
Yeah,
like,
but the thing is, it's expected for the men to resolve, and that's what I'm trying to say. It's like a lot of expectations are expected from us, but my expectations from a woman, I think they're like very effortless. Like, for example, like loyalty, support me, be there, love me, care for me, understand me, hear me out.
yeah,
Just things like that don't cost money. I
yeah.
think that's what I expect from. I don't expect her to like
Love and
pay
support.
my mortgage, the whole time. I mean, if I have a bad moment in work or whatever, it's understandable. I know I'm gonna have a bad day every now and then, but I know she's not gonna expect me to have a bad day forever.
No.
So that's understandable. And I appreciate when women are supportive like that. But I know as a man, that is my purpose. Like, imagine if I couldn't work, bro. If I couldn't work, if I couldn't lift a finger to make money, what kind of purpose would I have? I mean, I'm not even gonna talk about the other subject, but right now I'm doing it. I'm
Yeah.
doing everything that I'm supposed to do, and I don't have somebody. Imagine if I couldn't do it. What are my chances? My chances are even lower.
Depends. You see people with no work, not doing anything, playing basketball all day, get the best chicks and everything, and you don't know. You ask how, why.
Yeah, but I mean, getting it is, let's say
I can
get,
tell you why.
because a lot of time off to dedicate time for them.
It's time.
It's
It's our
time.
time.
Yeah.
Like you see, like this person in prison, they getting love from people or from outside, and it's like, how, why?
Yeah.
It's time. They got all this time to do nothing, like to be there for them, to be there because you are not really there, right? We just
I think it's called the drug dealer effect or something. I think that's what they call it. Where like you have so much time on your hands that you're dedicating the time for them that a hardworking man can't because they have to work, right?
yeah,
Uh, and this is what I'm talking about. Where like women are very addicted to attention. They're very addicted to validation. But this is not about women. This topic is about fatherhood, right? But everything connects. I think that's why it got
yeah,
brought up. Everything is connected, right? So being a father is so difficult because you have to be everything. You have to be most of everything in this life. Of course, you can't be as a rocket scientist because I mean, come on, you're not gonna be building rockets, but you're gonna be building lives. You're gonna be building ways of lives. You're gonna be building generations to come by the way you raise your kids. I
no,
think
don't
that's the way.
worry. You see the man building rockets. Elon Musk, he got divorced not so long ago.
Yeah.
I mean, he's supposed to be like the man that every woman wants. He's rich. He's not. I think he's handsome, right?
I think he's weird too, man. I think he's pretty. He has his weird side.
Yeah, he has.
He's
Yeah,
not normal. You know it, and I know it. Like we all have our weird side. We all
of
have
course.
our, what's it called? Or dark side, or however you want to call it, right? Dame un segundo, quiero ver que si me está grabando, porque pues, ya se me puso la pantalla ahí. Me preocupa que me la vaya a parar.
But the putting is sleep.
No, no, mostly according to what we've been reported, right? That he lives in a small house. He lives in a small house like a single person, but he
Yeah,
has a lot of kids.
yeah, I saw that.
So the thing is like girls want to get with him. They want to give him kids because he can provide for them.
Yeah,
And one of the things that I'm starting to see, man, is that women want to be with men that can provide, and they don't care if they're with somebody.
yeah.
They're gonna want to be with them.
But that's for another topic.
Yeah, I know. But this is fatherhood we're talking about.
Yeah, but kids, I'm from there looking for baby daddies and sugar daddies.
So the question, like, okay, so we're speaking from a guy's perspective, right? Like for
Yeah,
example, like me, look, as a dad, I know there's gonna be a lot of opinions about this, but as a dad, I think I'm gonna always be overprotective on my daughters than I would be on my sons. Now, I'm not saying that my sons are not important. Of course, I want my sons to make the right decisions. I want them to make sure that they understand how you're supposed to treat a lady, how you're supposed to respect a lady, how you're supposed to. But you're supposed to know how not to be taking advantage of a lady, right?
yeah, but that's different because you're a man, right? And you
Yeah.
know how the man thinks. You know, you have a daughter like me,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to protect your daughter from that mentality. Like you want to avoid that.
Well, the mentality is what? What's the mentality? I mean, the mentality would be like not caring, not being respected. A guy who doesn't have values, for example, like who doesn't believe in the family,
Yeah,
in a family
yeah,
setting.
I'm not talking about us how we carry ourselves. No, I'm talking about like we know how men are, like
Yeah,
men in the
but
world.
that's
Like
something we can't fix, Piero.
yeah,
We
I
can't
know.
change that. Of course, if that was the case, don't get close to them. Just be a lesbian. No, of course not. You
Buy
know,
a Subaru.
so of course we cannot change that that's biology, that's genetics. Like we can't change that, but we can do is teach him to look for the right flags, the green flags, I guess. you know but this is the thing, right? Girls are so complicated. Girls are very difficult because a girl tells you, I would like a man to be this, to be that, but in reality they want the opposite.
Yeah.
somebody who gives him problems, drama, somebody who gives him too much attention,
It
somebody who
it depends.
but it's but I'm talking about for the most part, not everybody, of course, you know. But girls sometimes they ask for something and it's not what they want, or they think they want it until they have it. Once they have it, and if they don't get turned on by it, guess what happens?
Yeah, but think that's a phase, like little woman
Oh, like when
acting
they're
like that.
younger.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
like
I
it's like
but then again, that's those are your best years.
yeah, but it's when you're younger, you're looking for the most beautiful lady in the class, right? You don't care if she's like she has like high mileage. You don't care about
Of
that,
course
right?
I do.
I mean, when you're younger and you're looking at the most beautiful girl in the class,
Mm-hmm.
in the classroom, you don't care about that. You're
Because
not thinking about
it's
that.
because I don't have the knowledge that high mileage even exists. I mean, I'm young. I
Eh,
don't know anything.
Exactly, that's what I
Like
mean.
for example, the teacher, the hot teacher, right? I don't know the mileage she has on her. I just want to be part of that mileage, right?
Yeah,
But the thing, I just want to add miles to that to
man,
that, right?
you want to have a ride too. I
Yeah,
know.
you know, I
Yeah,
want to add some miles on it. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not thinking about how many miles have been ran on that, you know, because I don't have the mentality or the wisdom to think that exists.
that come with
So the
maturity.
less you know, the happier you are.
Yeah,
But the more you know, the sadder it gets. It does, you know. And I don't want, like, if I was gonna marry, like, okay, there's this girl that I like, right? She wants to be with me, Pedro.
okay.
And I don't think she's being like, I don't think she's been sleeping around with a lot of men. I don't think she has. But at the same time, I'm like, there are some things that I still have to think about because she has kids
Okay.
and she's older than me.
Okay.
And she believes that because she has more experience, that's supposed to be a good thing. And sometimes that's not the case. There's more things that I think
Experience
about.
regarding to what?
I assume in bed. I mean, what else? What other experience would I like? You know,
No,
I mean, the maturity. I think I can appreciate that.
yeah.
But when you tell me I have experience, sometimes I wish you didn't, because I could give you that experience. You know what I'm saying? Giggity giggity. But anyway, this is about fatherhood, and we're gonna stick to it. But this
Back
is
at
part of
it. Back at
fatherhood.
it.
This is part of fatherhood because at the end of the day, we're talking about kids.
Yeah.
Kids is fatherhood, and that's the other thing I wanted to talk about is the fact that whenever, let's say something doesn't work, let's say things don't work out with your wife, and you guys split, right?
God forbid.
I know, Allah. All right. God forbid it happens, right? But let's just say if it did, what's the first thing that's gonna come to your mind? It's like, okay, if she gets with somebody else, what kind of father is my kid gonna have? Right?
Yeah. I have never thought about that.
Yeah, and I hope you never have to.
Yeah.
Because that's something I think about with my other daughter, with the smallest one, right? Like if my ex-wife ever decides to get with somebody, and you know my daughter has like a certain condition, right? That she's not really like like the other kids, you know. She has like autism,
Yeah.
and I know that it requires a lot of patience to deal with her.
Yes.
So I don't believe my ex-wife is gonna find anyone soon because of the way she is. I know she's very impatient in certain departments.
I hope she's not watching this.
And if she does, you know, she knows I'm right. I just think that she's gonna require a special person, but that special person is not gonna get her wheels turning. I'll be honest with you, because the person that she needs is not the one she wants.
Okay, I see what
Yeah.
I see what
So
you
she
mean.
needs a patient man, somebody that's way too patient, somebody that's gonna let her lead the household, somebody that's gonna allow her to solve the issues when there are the issues. So some like I don't want to say a beta male, but
It is a better amount.
somebody who's gonna just like be okay with being told what to do by her. And I don't think that's what she wants. I know she wants somebody that's a leader, somebody that's gonna be better than her, that's gonna be making more money than her, somebody that's gonna know a lot about life more than her. But at the same time, if she wants to be a leader, it's not gonna work because that guy that she wants is gonna want to lead the family. is gonna want to make the biggest decisions in the household,
Yeah.
even if it's with her approval. And sometimes some things are not gonna be at a full approval of her. But this is the thing that I'm talking about. That's what I'm scared of, right? When it comes to my daughters, like
Yeah.
if something happens to me.
You don't care about your ex. You just care about your daughter.
But in a way, I do, because what affects her affects her. If something happens to her, something can happen to her.
Yeah.
So if she's not okay, I know she's not gonna be okay. But she's not my responsibility. I'm not saying she's my responsibility either. But at the same time, I still have to make sure that I know that things are okay in her life, right?
Yeah.
Because it's my daughter we're talking about.
But
Everything
still,
affects my
you got
kids.
that way, don't you? Like you don't want her to have be with anybody like this random guy that has like
Yeah,
this.
yeah, absolutely. I don't want her to be like messing around with guys either. And they're coming in inside out of the house. I'm not saying just because it's the house that I kind of like got, and then she kept it. That's not the point. The point is, and the thing is, like, as funny as this sounds, she could get away with that. She could get away with bringing men in and outside the house because my daughter is autistic, so she's not gonna know what the hell is going on.
Man, bro.
She's gonna be like whatever, you know.
Yeah,
So
she doesn't
if
know.
she was a bad mom, it would not affect my daughter. Well, at least when it came to that department of sleeping with every guy she could find, right?
But
But luckily she's not like that, you know.
luckily,
Yeah, luckily she's not like that, so she's able to control those urges, right? But if she was another woman who was just like full of trauma and baggage mentally and emotionally, my daughter would not know what's going on. She would not be aware, you know? Which is even sadder because she would never have to ask the questions like, who's that, mama? Who's that? You know? So she's lucky that, but at the same time, she's not that type of person, so, um,
let's
and
hope not. Like it stay that way.
yeah. But the thing
Yeah,
is,
stay that way.
but those are the things that as a father, I mean, look, I already had a father. So I don't know. I just know what happened when I looked for him when I was an adult. And there was rejection. There was just
Same.
rejection, right?
Same.
When I was a kid in El Salvador with my grandma, I knew that my grandma was the mother of my father, but my father was never around. The stories are that he was a drunk, that he was violent, um, and he wasn't there for me. He wasn't there for me, and as a kid, I didn't think much of it, but now that I'm a father, I think a lot about it. But then at the same time, I wonder if he would have been my dad, if he would have been present in my life, what would I have learned from him? What would I have taken from him? Would I had a different destiny than being on my own and make my own decisions and be the man I am today, or I could have been less of a man. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know.
Like close to the topic. Something you might think about, but maybe not having a dad make you a better dad, because like you have this compromise with yourself, like of being better of what you didn't have, right?
Mm-hmm.
um who knows, maybe if you had your dad in your life, you won't be the dad you are right now for your child, for your daughters, you know. I see you as a good dad. Every when people tell me like, oh, Jeffrey this, Jeffrey, I think Jeffrey's good because I can see he's a good father for his child. That's like the main thing when it comes to my mind. Like, say something about Jeffrey, right? I think he's a good father. He's a good parent for his daughter, right?
Yeah.
But do you think it will be different if you had like your father in your life? Do you think you will be the same way? Like the amount of time of care you put into the father who you have with your child, do you think it will be the same?
I don't even know how to answer that question, man. Um, I guess I'll never feel how it feels to have a dad because I think I think whenever you have a male presence in the family, I guess you're supposed to, as a man, you're supposed to learn from them to be strong, to be able to lead, to be able to know how to solve problems when they come to your footsteps, or doorsteps or whatever the fuck is called. And I think I will never know the feeling of how it feels to have that support. I can't imagine. I mean, I had a stepfather growing up when my mom was married to another guy. He didn't treat me like a normal son. He always treated his own blood better.
Of course.
Right.
Sadly.
Um, I feel like I had punishments when I made a mistake, and I feel like the other ones didn't. Um, I can't remember the good things he did. I think the good things he did was because of my mother, but not because it was from him, which is understandable. I mean, that's most men for the most part. However, I don't think if I don't think I don't like the idea of being a stepdad. But I know if I ever am a stepdad, I think I'll be a good stepdad. You know,
You
I, I,
think
I
you
think I'll be better than what I had because I know how it can I know how it can impact them because that's how it impacted me. It impacted me in a positive way. As a matter of fact, it made me want to run away faster, which
yeah.
maybe it's a good thing. I don't know, but me running away faster, me being dependent on my own younger, sooner, made me explore the world, push myself to become a better young man, to become responsible at a younger age.
Yeah.
I guess fighting to survive, right? But I didn't. But I wish it didn't have to be that way. I wish those weren't the reasons why, right? I wish I would have had that support from my paternal presence, which is a father, right? But unfortunately, it wasn't like that.
Yeah, that's life. It was supposed to be that way, so you can be the man you are right now. I think so. Yeah. I mean, when I was growing up, I was looking father figures everywhere, for sure. Like I said, my uncle. I was thinking about her like, oh, I wanna be like him. But then I realized like, nah, I don't want to be like that guy. I was like looking for that father figure, right? I want a man in my life that could influence me to be better. But I never found that until I was like older. I was when I found that man, I was 22, 23, and it wasn't like a father figure. It was like a mentor,
Yeah.
someone that will give me like good advice. Um, most of the advice I took from that man, he's not my father, but now I see him like most in a higher ground than a father, because the things he taught me were like what have like that's the main reason, like everything he told me, the advice he gave me is what I think made me stay alive. I mean, I'm alive because of the advice he gave me. I was making bad decisions. I was reckless. I was violent, aggressive. I was smart. Yeah, I was really smart. But
Are you still smart?
yeah, I'm really smart. I'm pretty smart.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
You
What,
say
what
it
do you think?
was like.
Yeah, but when I mean I was smart, I mean I was really book smart. I was reading every single day. Even though I was violent, I was reckless. I was doing some crazy stuff,
Yeah.
some crazy shit for real. Like was doing some crazy stuff. Like I wasn't supposed to be doing that. I mean, I didn't have like no reason to be doing that, but you know, I was younger, but still, when I say I was smart, because I had this hunger of learning every single day, and that came from that man, because he showed me the way. He knew, he saw me, and he knew he was my coach, my basketball coach. He saw me like I was really clever with the playbooks, with coaching. I could train. I was 17, 18. I could train. He met me before, but who's like after time I was spiraling. He saw me. He took me in his wing. He told me like, "Hey, Piero, you have to stop. You have to slow down.
Yeah.
You have to take it easy. You are too young to be doing this stuff. You're really smart. If you ever need help, come to me. We can talk." And that's what I did. Like, that's the only man I actually have listened to. Like, I went to him. He told me like,
He was like one of the few mentors you think you had in your life.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It has to be like, if there's like one man in my life, like a main influence, father influence, whatever influence, has to be that man. I like I say, if I'm alive today, it's because of him. It's because of
I know
him.
this is a personal question, but the coach and mom ever went out and
No, no,
on a
no.
date or anything?
He,
No.
he never
Or
met.
he was just your coach. That's it.
Yeah, he was my coach,
Okay.
like, and nothing else.
So you hear
I
stories
mean,
about sometimes soccer coaches getting with single
yeah,
moms. And...
I know, bro. But
Okay, okay.
this man never met my mother until I was like 20, 27, 29, 31 right now. He met my mom like 3 years ago during pandemic, during COVID. So no, it wasn't like that. But still, he wasn't with my mother or near my mother. But I still see him like a father figure. But
Yeah.
for what he teach me, for what he gave me, that like I think was I was missing that piece, that information,
Yeah.
that guy, that that person that could tell me like, hey, stop. You need that. I mean, when I think right now, thinking about like what is a father figure for a man like us,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like someone that tells you like what is wrong, what is good, and put an example on how to do things. I think there's not for me. That's my opinion. Like there's nothing more to it. Like it's not somebody like, oh, I'm gonna take care. I'm gonna show you love, whatever. You're gonna find love anywhere. But what I needed, well, at least in my case, I need someone to guide me, to put a stop on me and also me relax better. Things are gonna get better. You have your skills. We can work on that. You wanna know what you are good for? We can look for something you are good at. And actually, he told me how to teach. So I became a coach because he told me how to teach, how to coach.
Yeah.
I started training. He gave me the space. He gave me the opportunity to teach other people, and I find peace doing that because it was like nobody teach me anything. Nobody taught me anything. Nobody gave me this information.
Yeah.
So someone came to me, gave me all this information, and what I did, I keep on giving the same information. Everything I was given, I was giving back. So that's what I say. It saved my life because it gave me like a reason. It gave me reason to keep going. It gave me like uh, I don't wanna get emotional, but yeah, me dio razón pa seguir luchando. It gave me reason to keep fighting.
Yeah. And and you remember those people that made a difference in your life, and he's the perfect example, right? I think I remember the few people that gave me a hand when I had problems. Man, let me try to. I think when I was going to school, as a matter of fact, the school that I graduated from is right behind you in that picture. The abandoned building right there.
Okay.
That used to be my school, middle school all the way to high school. And
Shout
now
out.
when you see that building now, inside it doesn't look like a school at all. It looks like an empty, abandoned space building. Just it's sad, you know.
Like a mall.
Just abandoned. It doesn't. I mean, if you saw inside, it don't look like a school.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a warehouse in there.
How long it's been closed?
Huh? Probably over 7 years or maybe more, maybe a
Yeah.
decade. It's been a long time,
We
and
wanna
that
put that picture on the screen so the people watching can see the picture too.
Yeah, yeah. I think maybe one day I'll show it in a documentary or something. But I think they can see it pretty well from there. Do you think? Let me see. Yeah, I think they can probably see it from the angle that we let's see. Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
So, I there were a few, I guess, mentors, male mentors that I listened to in that school. There weren't that many though. It was mostly African American school,
Yeah.
so it was like maybe 95% blacks and 5% Hispanic and 0.01 white. So it was like,
Yeah.
yeah, and we didn't have sports, and the only sport they had was basketball. I did wanted to play soccer, and I just couldn't. I think had a friend at church, and his father, he was really good to me. I don't want I don't want to say he was like a father figure, but I think he was the closest thing I had to like support. Just because even that's me being with my mom, that's me my mom that's my mom being married to my stepdad, because he was supporting his kids, which he was one of my friends play soccer, and I like soccer. So every chance I got, when they say, "Hey, you want to play soccer," I was there, and I felt part of their family. I felt like one of his sons, even though I wasn't one,
Yeah.
because he was supporting his kids in something they love to do, and of course he wanted them to do it too. But the idea was that they were all doing it, and they were getting the support from them. That's the support that I didn't have. The second part of it was whenever I joined the military, the drill instructors, they were tough, they were hard, but whenever they wanted the best of me, they went out of their way to make sure I didn't fall behind. Um, I think one of the most challenges I had a lot of challenges going into the military, but the hardest one was the shooting, the rifle qualification. I couldn't, the reason why I couldn't hit the paper at that time wasn't because I wasn't pulling the trigger. It was the fact that everything they were teaching me, I was not understanding it.
Okay.
I wasn't understanding. You're supposed to not breathe. You're supposed to not look at the side. You're not supposed to look at the target. You're supposed to look at the tip. All that stuff. I wasn't. I think I wasn't understanding it. I wasn't putting it together. So when I was trying to, because you have to qualify. So I don't know what my drill instructors did to make the department of the shooting range kind of give me another shot, and they knew I was a good recruit. They knew I was a potential Marine, but it was the fact that I could not pass my rifle qual. Of course, now I can, right? But
Yeah.
during that time, I just couldn't. I couldn't hit where I was supposed to hit, and that was. Did they help me out with that? I'm not gonna lie to you. And they got in trouble for helping people.
Yeah.
They got in trouble for helping people when they're not supposed to, because I supposed to be set back to another class and to another platoon, because for the people that don't qualify, for the people that get injured, for the people that get like have problems not qualifying for something, they get kicked to another platoon.
Yeah.
And if you don't make it in the other platoon, they kick you out of the military,
Yeah.
right? And I had other challenges, but that was one of the ones where I remember where like I was given an opportunity to try again. I finally qualified, but I'm gonna tell you, I mean, that's because they laid a hand, right? And if I wouldn't have had that kind of help every now and then, I think I probably wouldn't have made it as far as I have in my life, right? So other mentors, even though they weren't father figures, or they weren't something that they meant a lot throughout the years, at that moment, at that per time and moment, defining moment, made a difference, because if they want to lay a hand, if they want to help, if they want to consider me a good recruit, I think I want to give him the chance. I would have been set back.
Yeah.
um and the other one that I remember was, oh, there was a time in the military. When I went to Afghanistan, the the mentors that I had, they reminded me of how it feels. Like they reminded me of my stepdad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they forgot about me. Their favorite ones, they kept them close. Dating went through hardship in Afghanistan, and I was forgotten for months. They supposed to replace me. They supposed to rotate me, and they left me there for like 3 months, right? And their favorite ones, they kept them close. They weren't doing the hard work. The and they were getting better qualification. You know, like grades, right? Like
Yeah.
like I say grades, the best example. We get points, right, for
Yeah.
doing a good job. They got the best points. I got the worst points, and I was being like a leader where I was. I was leading other Marines to do stuff, and these guys, they were just like not doing any leading, and they were getting higher scores than me, and due through conduct, performance, and all this stuff. And it reminded me of how my stepdad treated me, and I'm like, what the fuck? Also, I lost my morale. I lost my motivation. Um, and then when I got back to the States, I got in trouble. I got in trouble because I had liquor, I had a gun, and I had an underage girl. Okay, underage, not underage, but under the age of 21. She's not supposed to drink, and she was drinking with me.
Okay.
So they caught me going into the base with all that stuff, and then they called my one of my mentors, and he had my back, and he talked to the police. He talked to like the military police and everything, and because of him doing that, I was able to save my military career, and I was able to get as far as I got in now in my military career. And those are young men's mistakes, right?
Yeah.
And I learned from them. And I wasn't doing anything wrong. It was just the fact that the alcohol's supposed to be closed. I'm not supposed to have a gun without permission. I mean, and I was with somebody who's not supposed to be drinking. She was like 20
Okay.
or 19 or something like that. She wasn't 21 yet. And all those things could have took me to jail, and I could have got out with a dishonorable discharge, right?
Yeah.
But those are the people that I'll remember that had my back, you know. Um, but yeah, sometimes the people you least expect to help are the ones that do.
True.
And I can't right now. Lately, I can't think of anybody right now that has had my back. I'm gonna be honest with you. Well, we work together, work in the same place, and things haven't been easy.
Yeah.
So I've been fighting and fighting, and that's the only thing. And that right there is the only reason where I am right now. And I'm doing everything I can to protect my position because it hasn't been easy. Um,
I know. I know. It has been a struggle.
and everything I done was to make sure that my kids are okay, make sure that my kids have food on the table, make sure my kids never have to worry about not having a roof over their heads.
Yeah.
Um, and there has been a lot of challenges, Piero. There's been a lot of challenges, not just with relationships, not just with work, not just with military, not just with school. School was tough.
Yeah. You told me.
School was tough, but life. I think the more I want in life, the harder it gets. And sometimes you think you're not gonna fight because you're supposed to just, well, I qualify for this, so what?
Yeah.
You think it's gonna happen? No, you gotta go and fight it.
Yeah.
You have to go and show what you're made of, and you have to compete. I think that's one of the things about fatherhood is you're competing for a place. And I think that's one of the things we forget about the world. It's like we think that we're just men and we're just supposed to become dads if we're just mating with females. And sometimes that doesn't make you a dad.
Yeah. I know.
It doesn't make you a dad because you can easily get somebody pregnant and just leave him pregnant
Yeah.
or leave him behind, and you can just move on. But being a father, you have to earn that place. You have to earn that place to set the example, because that place will take a lot of sacrifice, a lot of effort, a lot of work, a lot of pain. You take a lot of sacrifice. I don't know how else to say it, Piero.
Yeah. I know. You said it all. Like It's a constant struggle for everything. Fatherhood is, like you say, is compromising. It's not about like having a child. It's taking care of your child. It's being there. It's making the sacrifice. It's like stop thinking about you, thinking about group. Like you say, you had this issue with your ex. You had to break up because she was being a little bit extra selfish, and that's part of fatherhood. Yeah,
Being a
yeah.
good person is not enough, Pedro. It's
I
just
know.
not. You know, you can be a good man, it's not enough.
Yeah,
You have to know a balance, and that's the hard part that most men face the hard way. Um, for example, we're taught growing up in our culture, in the Hispanic culture. Oh, you just gotta be a gentleman. You gotta open the door for the girl. You have to give him roses. You have to be sweet. You have to be a gentleman,
yes,
and that doesn't work.
I
And,
know.
and who teaches you this? Not a man. It's a woman who teaches you how to be a man, and that's why things fail. That's why we fail in relationships. That's why we fail in marriages. That's why we fail in fatherhood. It's because I can't expect my mom to teach me how to be a dad. I just can't.
Yeah,
Yes, to be a good person, I'm pretty sure they can do a good job in teaching me that. But being a father, you have to be well rounded. You have to know when to be aggressive. You have to know when to be gentle. You have to know when to put your foot down. When a girl is out of line, you have to know when to lift them up. You have to know psychology. You have to know all kinds of things to be able to be stable in a relationship. And
yeah,
those things, you're not going to learn them in school. You're going to learn them through hard experiences.
yeah. It's about experience. It's a large process. It's a large process. Yeah. It's the same with your child. I mean, like you said, everything that like we go through, the psychology, like when you have to go, when you have to stop, when you have to take a step back, like thinking about it, like I want to like imagine like a woman th- thinking about how it is to be a father, like how different from being a mother to be a father, because like you say, we have to be also well rounded. Like we have to do everything. Like at the beginning of this podcast, we start talking about like how we have to like do like uh we have to know how to handle guns. We have to protect our family. We need to know about electricity. We need to fix stuff at the home, right? We need to do like we need to be the handyman, pretty much. Have to do everything, right? But what do women expect? Like, what do you think is like the expectation from women?
It's a laundry list, Piero. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think
No, I know.
through my experience, I can tell you that the more I get to know women, the scarier it gets. Because as a man, you can't just be a good husband. You can't be just a good man. You have to be a good father if you have kids around. And being a father, it requires everything. It requires you to not just be there for your kids, but you have to learn how to protect them. You have to hold a frame as a masculine frame. Okay? The men around you and the people around you have to see you the kind of man that you're a dangerous man, but you're a nice man at the same time. You can't just be a nice man so the world walks over you.
Yeah, no.
So you have to be a good man that can hurt somebody. You can't just be a good man who will not hurt a fly.
Do you think
Because the
like
world will eat you alive. Your wife will eat you alive. Women would take advantage of you from all kinds of direction, and they will not respect you. So you have to be a man that's respectable, and if feared, even better. Because when they fear you, they respect you. When they respect you, they follow you. When they follow you, they believe in you. You
yeah,
have to be a person that you're gonna be believed on, somebody that can trust you. You can be a man that can be trusted and be dangerous at the same time.
yeah, of course.
You just gotta be right with them. You just gotta make sure you don't screw them over.
Yes.
So I believe that's possible. I think that's the man I try to be every day. Lead by example. Someone that can people trust, but at the same time, people know that if they fuck with me, I'm gonna put it in their place, and not because that's what I'm looking forward to do. It's because that's what I'm willing to do if somebody messes with me for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. And the thing is, for example, you see television series, movies, you so many times you see like the perfect father, this man that is always present, always smiling, like this is the man like every woman wants.
Mm-hmm.
He's like really present. He's caring for his wife, for his child, for his family, for his house, everything they need. He's there. But I don't know why cinema Hollywood put it like that. But at the end, they end like really sad in a really dark place every time. Like every movie you see about a good father, he is like fighting for his life at the end of the movie. What do you think? It's like that perception. It's like it's impossible to be a perfect father.
Yeah, man. I think it's just because the expectations are always high for us. I think because I think I think when something happens to us as men, as fathers, when something bad happens, of course, it cannot be something that can happen for a long time.
Yeah,
If it happens for too long, people start questioning what's wrong with this guy. Your woman will start asking what's wrong with this guy.
yeah,
Uh, and then women, let me tell you how women are. And this is not good for us, by the way. Women like to tell these problems to other girls, to their mom, to their close ones. And when their close ones start talking shit about you,
opinions.
opinions about you, guess what happens? They start looking at you with different eyes.
Nah, not only that. Something something I can realize from that. Something I see from that is like when your partner gets more people involved, like friends, family,
Yeah.
talking about your relationship, how it works. It's like they the friends never have like at this maybe they do not I don't want to generalize everyone, but it's like they start demanding even more. Like instead of like okay, Jeffrey is not doing the
He's short. Uh-huh.
yeah no let's
He's
go.
too short for you, girl.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do even simpler. Like, oh, he's not cooking. He's not whatever. Okay, instead of seeing what's the reason, what's going on, why you're not doing certain things that are expected you to do, like whatever reason, instead of trying to fix that, they're gonna put more pressure on it. Like, okay, he's not doing that, but let's put more stuff to do. Like, okay, you're not doing this, but why you don't do the la jardinería? How do you say?
Gardening.
The gardening. Why you not doing that? Why you not do installing the new TV? Why you not installing the new lights? Why you don't do this? Why you not going out? Why you not
Why
buying
didn't you fix my
flowers?
tire? Why didn't you take the tire? Why didn't you take the car for an oil change?
Yeah, exactly. It's like they keep adding more instead of like trying to see like what's going on with you. They don't care about you. That's the thing. They don't care about you.
I
It
think more women are. I think women are more selfish than they realize. In my opinion.
and sometimes it's like maybe your partner isn't in a good like mental state that maybe she can try to fix, not fix, but see what's going on, like to solve the problems. But this third party is never helping.
I think what it is once again, right? Social media, television, TV shows, the movies. I guess friends too, because everything is connected. Everyone's connected to the matrix for the most part. That doesn't really help, bro, because we're all gonna have problems. No man's gonna be perfect, but of course there are limits. Some people abuse that shit.
Yeah,
But I'm talking about like a man who's trying here. a man that's trying and the woman knows he's trying, but the fact that because the women like to compare men to other men, whether it's an ex, whether it's somebody that they see at work that's better than their husbands, what women like to compare, and there's nothing we can do about that.
Yes.
And all I can do is be the best man I can fucking be. And if it's not good enough, get the fuck out of my life. End of
Yeah,
story.
I have this picture in my mind of this man that used to live next to me, and I remember this man going out at 4 a.m., going back at 8 p.m., and I will expect like 20, 30 minutes. There's gonna be a big arguing. There's gonna be a big fight every single night. And I started thinking like, damn, what's going on? But one day I see the man. I never see the man like face to face. But when I see the man going into his house, he looks tired. He looks like the only thing he wants to do is take a shower, going to sleep. But he's doing that. Maybe he's not the life he wants, but that's the life he has to do to provide for his family. And every single day, that was for like 6 months straight. I see this fighting, this arguing, but it's mostly the woman
Of course it
yelling
is.
at him, like demanding, like, ah, you're drunk or whatever. I remember that day I saw the man face to face. I said, hey, how you doing, man? He said, oh, I'm gonna get a shower. And the man like was like ready. He was falling apart. He was falling apart. Maybe I understand. I mean, I don't understand, but I see the woman telling him, "Oh, I need more time. I need you to be here with me. It's not only work, but if I don't work, you're gonna leave, right? Okay, so
Like,
I'm working, so you don't leave. So when I go home, you stay here. I get you everything you need. I work 12 hours a day, and when I come home, I only expect like, how was your day? But no, I never saw that man happy. I only saw him sad, depressed, destroyed, gone. Like he was no longer there.
I think that's one of the kind of arguments that kind of made me make the decision to like get divorced. I'll be honest with you. It was never enough, dude. I was providing for the most part of the expenses of the household, and every time I got home, for the most part, ever since we had the baby, it was just like why I'm not helping her with the baby while she's doing this? Why am I not doing that? And I'm like, and all I did was go to the gym or play soccer, right?
Yeah,
And she hated that. She hated seeing me like have fun, work out. She seeing me like enjoy myself. And she always complained about me not doing enough, and I got tired of it. I'm gonna tell you right now, as a father, what I would like if I ever give a woman an opportunity to be in my life again, please don't do that. Please don't do that shit, because what's gonna happen is I'm gonna kick you out of my house. I
yeah,
don't play those games, because when I want to come to my house, Piero, first as the husband I'm supposed to be, the man I'm supposed to be, as the father that I am, the last thing I want is come home and argue with somebody. The last thing I want is somebody to tell me that I'm not doing enough when I'm busting my ass to make sure that, we have food on the table, or to make sure we have a roof over our heads. And that's the way you're gonna thank me. And look, this woman, she worked, but she worked for herself once again. She worked for her family. And yeah, sure, her expenses made my life easier, because those are things I didn't have to worry about. But at the end of the day, it was her expenses, not my expenses. Okay? So at the end of the day,
but what do you mean by expenses?
like, her car, her own bills, her own, things that she
Okay,
bought for herself.
okay, okay, okay,
And she helped her family out financially, sure.
okay. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
no
but
issue.
that wasn't the problem. The problem
Yeah,
was that I felt like I wasn't appreciated,
yeah,
and I got tired of it. So fuck it.
yeah. So
Uh,
you took like 2, 3 hours to relax yourself. Like not
I
even
can't do I
relax,
couldn't even do that,
not even relax. Like play some soccer so you can be in your right mind.
and it wasn't always all the time.
I know for sure it
Yeah,
wasn't all the time.
every time I did something like that, she felt like I was just having it easy or something. Like she saw me as a person. I feel like she was competing with me, dude, and I didn't like that. I don't like a woman to be with me to compete with me. I want a woman to be with me to be part of my life, to be there for me.
We can compete. I mean, I can
I
accept.
cannot, dude.
I can accept to be competing, but it has to be like not competing to make me lose. We can compete
Compete with
to.
other women. Don't compete with me. Because what happens when you compete with me, I feel like you're trying to overpower me. And I don't like that. I'm like, I'm working so hard to make sure you're okay, and you're competing to be better than me, or to prove me something. I'm like, I didn't marry a woman to do that. I want a woman to do things I'm not able to do when I'm not around. So whenever I come home, I don't have to worry about those things because I'm doing things that she doesn't have to worry about. There are things that you and I Piero do that they don't have to worry about. At least that's the way I see things, because it's not fair for us to pay all this. Look, the thing is, it's not the paying that pisses me off. It's the fact that it's not appreciated. I don't mind paying 80-90% of the bills. I don't mind doing that. It's the fact that I'm not appreciated.
Yeah.
It's the fact that I'm not treated as such. It's the fact that um, no matter what I do, it's never enough. And the only way to stop that is to put your foot down at first. So for all the men that are listening out there, when you start seeing that shit, put your foot down. And if they don't if they don't respect your opinion, if they don't respect the way you see things, they're not the one for you. Because it's gonna keep going, until somebody decides to break it off. And usually the woman wins when you're in a marriage. The woman wins every time because of all these laws. So I just think that women are incentivized when men do better, you know. But and I don't have it in me to be a loser. I don't have it in me to be less. I have the spirit of a warrior, where I have to survive, that I have to fight for my family. I can't. I mean, as nice as a sugar mama sounds, I still don't think I'm gonna be happy being in that position, because I'm a leader.
But don't you think like if we compete but our goal is the same, that's a good thing?
I don't think so. I think that's what makes things interesting, is that not all men think alike. Some men are just comfortable. Some men are just complacent. Some men are just happy, just being not doing much, and that's
Yeah.
okay, Pedro. I'm not
Yeah.
competing with those men. Those men are not the ones that worry me.
Yeah.
The ones that worry me are the ones that are better than me, the ones that don't want to see me succeed, the ones that want to compete with me to have what I have, which is,
Yes.
there are men that are gonna want your wife, there are men that are gonna want your house, there are men that are gonna want your car,
Your
there are men
life.
yeah, men are wanna be in your shoes.
Yeah.
And people are competing every day for
Yes.
for them to be in that spot, and you have to compete every day to make sure you don't lose your spot. It's a competition, Piero. Everything is a competition. The problem is, like, if you don't feel like you're competing, something is gonna catch up to you sooner or later.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna catch up. Whether you're married or you're not, you're still competing. The thing is, we think we're not competing because we have a ring in our fingers, but in reality, we're still competing, because the moment you decide you stop providing, the moment you decide not to be that man you need to be, you're gonna become replaceable.
Yeah.
There's just no way. You think a woman, because she has a good heart, she's gonna like just allow that? No, because it's in their nature. Monkey branching is in their nature. Hypergamy is in their nature. They're always gonna want somebody to support them. They cannot support a man forever. They just can't.
Nah, it's not possible. Like, nah.
And I don't want to be a man that's not useful. I don't want to be a father that can protect. I don't want to be a father that cannot guide. I cannot be a man that cannot be that father that cannot protect my family or show strength in my home. There was a video that I saw um about a predator. They interviewed this child predator in jail, and he was asked, "Hey, what kind of kids did you target?" And you
Okay.
know what he said? He said that he targeted kids that didn't have a father figure in the household. Kids that were isolated from all the other kids that were having family issues, then kids that were raised by single mothers, things like that, because they were easy targets, because they were more vulnerable,
Yeah.
because they didn't have a guidance. So, and whenever they ask him, "What about and which ones did you avoid?" The ones that had fathers in their lives, the ones that have father figures in their lives that could protect them. So think about that for a second, right? About how important it is to have a father around.
Yeah. Maybe at least me, I feel like I got what I needed from the father figures. Not from my father, but maybe you're right. Maybe
And
we
we are fathers to daughters.
and it's supposed to be. It's part of nature. You have your mother, you have your father. They teach you different
Like
things.
penguins, right? Like it's supposed to be like that, but it's not. Not in this modern age. Not in this modern times where like women feel like they can do anything they want without being told they're wrong.
Yeah,
No, we're all responsible. We all have a responsibility, but I feel like at the end of the day, men see consequences how they really are, and women, they don't see consequences the way we do.
for sure.
They just don't. They think that because I'm a Leo, I'm allowed to fuck up.
Yeah, but I don't think
You
that's
know,
like
you know,
every.
no, no, but that's the fantasy mentality of a girl. They think that their consequences, their actions don't have the consequences like our actions have consequences, but it's the same consequence. It's the same actions.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a woman that
Not
it's like
all
that.
women,
Yeah,
but I feel like they don't take consequences the way we do. Like especially in the workplace where we are. Pedro. Come on,
oh yeah, that's
you know
different.
we they okay. We have women at our work that tell us, "Oh man, you guys look nice today. Uh, oh, you look nice today. Yada yada yada.
We
You know what I'm
accept
saying.
it. We
But if I
accept it.
do that to
Yeah,
them,
we accept that
it's
we
game
could.
over.
Yeah, we accept that we kept quiet.
We can't
That's
even say
it.
thank you. I mean, I can say thank you, but I cannot say you too, or I can say,
Mm,
"Oh my goodness, I can't do that."
nah, it's not part of the game.
So
It is
those
not.
are the things that I'm talking about. Where we as men, we are in this generation, in this time where like men are afraid to be men.
Yeah,
And
you
why is
talking,
that?
talking about that.
And that's part of being a father, by the way. Being a father, you have to be strong. You have to be disciplinary. You have to have be strong toned. But nowadays, that's like a bad thing to do because
Yeah, this
they make you
environment.
look bad.
Yeah, this environment is gonna make. Also, it's gonna make at the long run. It's gonna make you weak. I remember 6 months, 5 months ago, I saw a lady with the nice shoes. I said, "Hey, I like your shoes." When I said that, I was thinking about why did I say that like for 40 minutes. Like, damn, I got myself in a trouble. I got myself in trouble because you know it's okay if she says I like your shoes, I like your shirt, I like your jacket, whatever. Okay, thanks. But me saying it, you don't know. Like you don't know. Like oh, this guy was saying something I don't like. But what did he say? I don't know. I see he say something about me that I don't like. He
I,
say he like something about me, but I don't like men talking to me like that.
I think father should show masculinity. I think fatherhood should show masculinity. And I feel like masculinity has been,
I have a good question when you finish that.
yeah, has been like not appreciated. It has been billionized, meaning like we're being told that it's bad to be masculine, that it's toxic, or that it's not good for society. And I think Are there a society trying to make strong man weak man? And at the end of the day, is weak man really gonna be something you can rely on? You can't tell men to stop being men, because then what happens is you're gonna have feminized men that are not gonna be that they're not gonna be able to trust when hard times come.
Yeah.
So you have to accept this masculinity the way it's supposed to be, the way it comes. I'm not saying disrespect, but if a guy is a guy, you can't tell him he's wrong for being a guy. You can't get him in trouble because he's being a guy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean that's insane, and that's part of fatherhood.
Yeah.
A fatherhood figure is supposed to be strong, supposed to have show strength, supposed to show confidence.
Yeah.
And when you can't take the confidence out of a man by telling him these things and expect him to be a good father. How can you expect him to be a good father, a protective father, a strong father, if you tell him he's wrong for it?
Yeah, and going back a little bit on what we were saying, like you get a haircut and you don't say, "Do you like my hair?" Oh, wow. Don't ask that question. A woman can make it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you like I did something to my hair. I have the highlights or whatever is trending right now. I don't know, but if you say like, "Do you like my hair?" You have my haircut. That's on. It's gonna right now. I mean, before I think that was normal, but right now I think that sounds weird. I mean,
Yeah.
me saying it right now, I'm thinking about it. I says like, damn, I'm thinking like, I don't remember the last time I asked like, of course I'm married, but beside or outside of that, asking like a woman like, even back in DR in Santo Domingo, asking a
En
woman,
Santo Domingo, tú sabes.
yeah, in Santo Domingo, like asking a woman like, hey, do you like my haircut? Like, nah, like in a professional environment, nah.
The thing is, like, men, we don't do that. I don't think men do that. How does my beard look? How does my hair look? How does my chest hair look? We don't ask those questions. We just don't care. We don't give a shit. But
Yeah, I mean, we care about ourselves,
but the thing is, like, okay, I do care how I look,
of course.
but I don't care if I hear it or not. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I see myself in the mirror. I feel confident that I see myself in the mirror, and it's good.
The compliments.
And I don't. But women, they don't work like that. Women need to hear compliments. Women need to hear validation. That's how they know they're doing it right.
Yeah.
We don't need that, you know. But
I mean,
like, but
us, we don't need that. There are men that need that. You know what type of man I'm talking about?
I do.
Yeah, you know.
I don't. But okay.
This.
I mean, I don't. Okay, look. Like, if, for example, of course you want to hear from your wife, right? I mean,
of course, yes.
I mean, that's the first person you kind of want to hear from, because you want to make sure you're doing it right.
Yeah.
But there is only one person I think I can trust in our environment that I can give a compliment to, and that it's not gonna like, put me in the fire, right? But for the most part, I can't trust nobody. I just can't. Even if I don't mean it in a bad way, I can't tell them their hair looks nice, because I'll be sitting in the office the next day or something, or in the next couple of days, and I'm gonna be told that I said something.
Yeah, I'm more in your position that you are like on the fire every time.
But the thing is, like, and I think I know why. And it's because I show a lot of masculine traits. I show a lot of just masculine energy.
Yeah.
And if I didn't, maybe I wouldn't get in so much trouble. Maybe if I was gay, maybe people wouldn't care.
Maybe.
But I'm not. So, so I'm a very high testosterone guy that likes to say, how you doing?
Yeah.
And sometimes when people ask me questions, I answer them. But I learn in that place not to answer them.
Yeah.
Not because I don't want to, not because I don't want to be part of the conversation. It's because I know how people can take things out of context and make you look bad when you really don't have those intentions.
And you get this person in a bad day, it's over. It's over.
Yeah, because their emotions have to do a lot with it too. Like I can't control what they're feeling at that moment. But for example, maybe, look, if a girl likes you and they're trying to get something out of you to make them feel good, but instead of making them feel good, you make them feel the opposite. When you actually talk about another girl instead of her, it's over.
Yeah, it is over.
Yeah, because she expects you to say something nice about her, but you decided to say something nice about the other one, and it's game over now. Like, you know what? I think I'm gonna do a little something to this guy, just to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
But I think fatherhood.
So,
Back to fatherhood, right? You just
we there. We are there. We are not far from there. Because masculinity is part of
we
the
have to we
fatherhood.
have to we have to stand up for men. We have to stand up for men being what they need to be. So when it's time for them to become fathers, they're not afraid to show it, to be the people they need to be, to protect their family,
Hold
protect
on,
their
hold
kids.
on. Before you go over there, because
Mm-hmm.
I see where you're going, but I want to ask you, like, because this is something I'm wondering. I'm asking myself
Okay.
how I'm gonna teach masculinity to my daughter.
You can't. You're not supposed to.
There's some traits that she might use. Don't you think that some of my masculine traits can help like
Okay, so this is the thing, right? So when my daughters, right, as a single father, I can tell you that whenever I teach my daughters something, I'm teaching them from my perspective, which I know it can backfire in the future.
yeah,
But it's all I know, Piero, as a
yes,
father. I'm on my own, and of course I'm gonna tell him protect yourself. Of course I'm
yes,
gonna tell him don't let nobody bully you. Of course I'm gonna tell him fight back. Of course I'm gonna tell him to sense danger, to look out for like anything that feels wrong. Of course I'm gonna tell him to like um, you're better on your own than have bad company. Of course I'm gonna teach him things like that, but I can, but I know for a fact that my conscience would tell me because of education, of course.
yeah,
Hey, don't teach her how to make a man look bad. Um, I would teach her how to pick a certain guy. I know it sounds like weird, but it's because I don't want her to end up with a weak guy either. So I have to tell her, look for a guy that's smart, that's strong, that respects you, and when you're wrong, to make sure that he has a good reason to correct you.
yeah. If you,
Because you're not gonna be perfect,
yeah, if you,
and as a father, maybe I shouldn't be telling her that because of the agenda that
I know,
the
yeah,
feminist agenda that they carry on. But the thing is, like, I have to tell my daughter that she needs to find a man that's willing to like protect her.
yes,
And protection comes with authority.
yes,
So they have to tell you when you're wrong. They have to tell you when not to do something because it can get you and him in trouble. And he has to believe in that. He can't be scared to tell you things, because at the end of the day, I'm not saying that he should be allowed to be hated or disrespected. But the thing is, like, a lot of women nowadays think they're right when they're wrong because they make decisions through emotions.
yes,
They take actions through emotions and not through logic, right?
yes,
So you need some logic guidance most of the time to be able to get to point B or point C, because when we let our emotions get the best of us, sometimes it doesn't take us to the best place. And I think a lot of women, those are the consequences that I'm telling you that they do not have to deal with, because they always get a pass. Most times they get a pass through emotional reactions. We don't get a pass, Piero. If one day, I feel like, I'm just pissed off, I'm gonna go shoot up a gas station, right?
yeah,
Just because I feel like it, I'm not gonna get away with that.
no,
Just because I'm a Pisces having a bad day, it's not gonna work. I don't think I can justify that. But most women like to justify their poor decisions, you know, and this happens a lot in marriages. That's where it reflects the most, when a woman is not strong enough to is not strong enough to um, respect what the man is doing for them. If the man is out there working, okay, for months, for weeks, and she feels alone and neglected, uh, and she decides to be unfaithful, okay, um, there's two things that will show here. lack of respect from her, and at the same time, not appreciating what he's doing for the household. Yeah, maybe he shouldn't be away too long. He has responsibility there. I'm not gonna lie to you. He can't be doing that for years. It's not gonna work. The marriage will fall apart. So you, as a man, you also have to know that if you're doing that for a long time, unless you're doing it on purpose and you don't love this woman and you're just trying to stay away from her as long as possible, no matter if she's cheating on you or not. If you like that, if that's the way you want to live, go for it. But if you want a wife to be faithful, if you want a wife to be respectful, you have to be there too. There is something they talk in the red pill community, and it's more about how what a man should do in a relationship. And the three P's is be present, provide, and protect.
Yeah.
If one of those P's fail, everything fails.
Yeah.
And to some, it might happen sooner. To some, it might happen later. But at the end of the day, this is women's psychology. Piero. This is not something men wish things were this way. Of course, we want things to be as simple as possible. But women are not simple creatures. So we have to be able to know how to navigate with them, understand them, know how they are, know the games they play. We have to know so much to be able to coexist with these creatures. Because if we don't, we get the it's not gonna end well for us. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. No. It's never. It's not. It's not. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
And as a father and as a husband, you have a lot to lose when you're put in that position, because guess what? If she decides to leave you, she's gonna get incentivized for it. She's gonna get rewarded by the system for it.
Yeah.
Child support, alimony, have the house, have the property.
Yeah, I don't have that experience yet, but I can. You don't have to have the experience to see like how the society is going on right now. How?
Yeah, and this is the thing. Men's supposed to be good, right? Men's supposed to be better. Men's supposed to my bad. We're supposed to be the hard earners, the highest earners. But guess what? That comes with a consequence when they decide to do these things. Why would I want to be why do I want to do more? Why do I want to earn more if I know that if one day she decides to leave me because maybe she just decides to do it?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't want to live like that, Piero.
Nobody
I don't want
wants
to
to
live like that. I want to believe that everything I'm doing is to give them the best lives, and at the same time, the last thing I'm thinking about is being left.
Yeah.
But I have to be smart to know, like, okay, she sleeps with me every night. She wakes up with me every night.
Yeah.
She doesn't go out to party. She doesn't go out on female trips, on women's trips or women's night out.
Whatever.
So, okay, if she's not doing those things should be okay, right? Now, of course, I have to do my part. Be romantic, be attentive, give her attention, dedicate time for her and the kids.
Be a good lover.
Huh?
Be a good lover.
A good lover?
Yeah.
What is that?
A good lover. Buen amante.
A lover, yes.
Yeah.
Be a good lover, yes, of course. And that's part of being romantic, right? You have to make sure you please her. But you have to please her in all areas, not just one area, because once again, that doesn't do it all, right?
Yeah.
Like, so unfortunately, life is not that simple when it comes to them. And look, I would love to have a family. I would love to have a woman in my life. And I'm doing everything I can so when they come to my life, they don't have to worry about it much. I'm trying, Piero. I really am. As a father and as a man in general, I really trying my best so when they come to my home and live with me and I can share a home with them, they don't have to worry about much.
Yeah. You'll find someone. I'm pretty sure you'll find someone.
I don't know, man. That's tough. I don't know,
You might need to get in the Matrix, maybe.
Well, dating apps, man. I've been getting into dating apps lately.
Yeah, but you need to get in the Matrix inside, like
where in the Matrix?
like I mean, social media and dating apps. I don't consider dating apps social media to begin with. I'm talking about like more like uh Instagram, TikTok. Like you can imagine the amount of people that is watching you.
I think dating apps they're not good for men. Uh,
Why?
it's because I've been using them, and I can tell you that they want to make men pay. Like for example, I don't know if it was Bumble or Hinge. They said something about this feature is for female something. So in other words, like guys had to pay for that feature, and girls didn't have to.
You can introduce yourself as a male, as a female. You can
No,
do as
but
you want.
what I'm saying is like these apps are for men to spend money, not
Okay,
for girls.
I
That's
understand
what
what
I'm
you're saying.
saying.
Yeah, I
So
see.
it's incentivizing women to join, but it's making men pay to
Okay,
join, and I don't like that.
so you paying the bills, even in the dating app.
No, I got the free stuff, but the free stuff doesn't let me do anything.
Okay.
It doesn't, like for example on Bumble, I cannot like, I cannot send a message, I cannot send a comment
Oh wow.
because it's free. Like I have to pay for everything I want to do.
I never use Bumble, but sounds
Hinge,
fun.
they limit you if it's free, right?
Yeah.
Like you do like 5 likes and then 5 comments or something like that, and then that they limit you for like a day.
What about Tinder? That's free still.
Tinder, it's you got a match to talk to them.
Uh, yeah, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that's good.
But on the other ones, you could still send a comment on their pictures and send it to them and see if they respond.
Okay,
But of course, on Bumble, you gotta pay for like even look at the app.
But
Like,
it's
it's
like-
almost at that point.
it's like Instagram, pretty much. Like
Yeah, but Instagram, you don't have to pay for shit.
yeah, but that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like
Yeah, but
Instagram is free.
okay. Last time I used Instagram was like 4 years ago. So let me ask you a question: is there like a feature now, like on Facebook they have the dating Facebook, whatever?
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, they have dating on Facebook now. So does Instagram have like a dating kind of like
Nah,
feature?
but
No?
you can start looking around. Maybe you find something because look how I understand that people.
How do you find people?
No,
though?
no.
Like,
Let me explain you. Let me explain you how because
How?
this is how.
Tell me how, man.
Yeah,
I'm listening.
This
Talk
is how
to
my
me.
friend.
Talk to me, man.
This is how my friend told me how, right?
Okay,
So-
tell me about your friend.
So my friend, what he does is like he likes to go out and eat and drink.
In Instagram.
Yeah, in Instagram. It's like he's
Oh, how do you do that in Instagram? How do you go eat and drink in Instagram?
so you look for the places, the hottest places. You like what's the best food near me, right? You look the names. Okay, you put that on Instagram. Most of the good places for eating and drinking have Instagram pages. So what he used to do is, or I mean, I don't know if he's still doing it, but he was doing it great. So he go to the comments, right? Oh, whatever, like that looks nice, and he follows that person. He sends like a follow request or he sends a message like, oh, you going there? I'm going there tonight too. Like that's it. Like, he throws the ball, and he let it run.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he dates in there. Like he goes through the comments.
It's fishing.
Yeah. Oh, also he told me that he goes to the likes. Like let's say like tres margaritas in the one name of one business Ojitos Locos. Tres free margaritas. He was going to the likes and to the people that is liking that post. If they like him, it's because they thinking about that. So he goes there. He follow the people. I think it's a little bit creepy, but
What about time consuming?
yeah, that's what we're talking about at the beginning. Like people that have like this time for women, like women care about this time. He can do it. Like he I think that's all he do in the full day. He works, but he's like part job working inside his full time work,
Yeah.
and he's like sending message to people he doesn't know, like random people on Instagram. But it worked for him. I mean, he met a lot of people.
Where are all those people at right now?
I don't know.
So that's the thing, right? I'm a person that's I don't like to like. I'm like a sniper. Okay. I shoot to kill, right? Being a machine gunner is fun, like what he's doing, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people, right? That's very fun, but it's because of my time.
Yeah, I know.
So I have to be really effective as much as possible. I'm aiming for the head. If I hit the neck, that's good, right? But what I'm trying to tell you is that my time is so limited that I have to be effective when I talk to girls.
Let me tell you what I saw before.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw this page on Instagram. So they post people that is traveling all around the world. So the owner of the page, they request from people like, oh, I'm going to Ohio. Uh, I'm going from this time to this time frame. I'm gonna be this place. I'm going this place. Um, I'm 27, 20, 26. I like it's like a bio, right? And pretty much it's like they looking for people.
Are you talking about the girl bio or the guy bio?
No, the girl bio.
The guy bio?
It's like a girl bio and men's bio. Like they upload these profiles and people like, oh, I'm gonna be there. I wanna join you. I wanna be there. I live in Ohio. I live in Minnesota or whatever, right? It's like they have like this. This is for people that travel, right? But there's so many pages like that works like dating apps inside the Instagram. I remember because I saw this like 2 months ago, and there's like they making ways of like having these dating groups. It's mostly like groups.
But it sounds like casual encounters, man. It sounds like casual shit. It doesn't sound like something you'll find for the long term because the traveling, you can go to like Istanbul one day and then next week you're gonna be in Paris and next week you're gonna be somewhere else or in another state, whatever. Right?
Yeah, but I see a lot of posts like people going, for example, people
And
coming
that's
to here.
addictive, bro.
I know.
That's addictive. So that's the problem
That's
with
an
that.
issue. Now I know, and you know,
And I'm gonna tell you something right now. That attention that you give a girl the first time, you don't give it to her the second time. And girls, once they catch on to that, I'm gonna tell you, they always love the first interaction because it's like the best interaction. It's where you make the most effort. You know, for the most part, right? You're supposed to. So that's where you impress her the most because they know that that's where you're gonna give it your all to make sure like she stays, but she's really not. Right? Ay, ay, ay. Well, back to fatherhood, right?
okay.
Back to fatherhood.
We're still here. We're gonna cut that.
Back to fatherhood. I want to ask one last question. And then after that, I want you to. I'll tell you what you're gonna say after that. I want you to tell me something that you will tell your daughter, right? Okay. But I'll tell you later how I'm gonna word it so you can like word it the way you want to word it, right?
Nah, I'm gonna say it in Spanish. It's for my baby girl. It's gonna be in Spanish.
Okay, you can say it in Spanish. That's cool. Yeah. My question is, what is the best? If you had to recommend the youth, okay? If we had to recommend the youth, when is the best age to experience or start fatherhood, the fatherhood phase, the fatherhood experience? What's the best age? And what are the things they should have lined up before the process to start fatherhood?
Okay, so when I think about fatherhood, I thought I was never gonna be ready. That's me.
Okay.
But I'm gonna say what I think is like the right time. It has to be around 28 to 32, 33. You know why? Because at that time, at that point in life, you have to be like, at some point, like complete. Like you have to have your education, whatever education you're gonna get. At that point, you have to at least, if you not complete that education, at least you have like a hint of what you're doing. You have a job. If you are 28, you don't have a job, you don't have any type of education. What's your worry life? I mean, you're not ready for anything. You're not even living life. So you have to be like in that age range. Is the time that you're supposed to be like to get independence, like be by yourself, s- start making some money. No, I'm not talking about big numbers, but some money so you can be by yourself. Like you have to have some type of education. If you maybe you don't get the education, but you have the experience. You've been working, right? You've been getting. Doesn't matter if you're working on McDonald's, Burger King. You're working on an office, on a leasing office or
You
whatever.
think it doesn't matter for women when they ask the question?
Sorry.
You think women are not gonna care?
Yeah, woman care.
Because I feel like we're in a very, first
W-
of all, we're hyperinflation.
Yeah, but
Okay.
we're talking about fatherhood.
And yes, but you want to have a career. I think you're on the right track right there,
Yeah.
right? When you do your education, but women, unfortunately, they just very picky when it comes to this stuff, bro. I'll be honest with you. They just are. I don't think they're gonna let that slide. I wish it wasn't like that, Peter. I wish, you know what? The years I worked at Taco Bell, the years that I worked at CC's, the time I worked Captain D's or whatever, all these fast food joints.
But that's why you don't like
I wish
thesis.
I like CC's.
Are you like thesis?
Yeah, I like CC's.
Oh, okay, okay.
But what I'm saying, but they changed some. You know, I'm not gonna talk about this right now. Okay, their quality sucks. Okay. No, and even if they sponsor, I will have to say they could do better. Okay, but they're not sponsoring, so too bad. Um, but yeah, Piero, I think your resume matters when it comes to fatherhood.
Of course it does.
Why? Because you want to sell yourself. You want to sell yourself, Piero, to the one you want to mate with, to have kids with.
You're gonna present your resume. This is me.
And they're very smart. Women are not stupid. It sucks. It sucks that they're emotional, like way over emotional most times. But some people lie to them and they fall for it.
Yeah.
You know. But you know what speaks louder than a lie is your actions. It's your result. It's what you bring to the table, right? So you're right. Education. You're right. Have a job. You're right that maturity, experience. That's very important. I agree with that. But but you're never gonna be ready. So you're also right about that. You're never gonna be
What I
ready to
say,
be like that.
I was thinking about that. I was never gonna be ready. I mean, I was 30. I was thinking like, damn,
Yeah.
I'm getting old. I want to play basketball with my child.
Yeah.
Right now, my knees are giving up. So I said, this is the right time. I mean, maybe I'm not where I want to be right now. Maybe I I I didn't feel like professionally I was in the place I wanted to be a father, but my God told me like it was the right time, and maybe I needed my child to be born so I can keep growing. Maybe I need that. You know,
Like that push.
yeah, maybe I need that push. I don't want to say like that's like the main reason. That's not the main reason, but maybe I need that because I can see myself right now being more organized.
Yeah.
I see things a little bit more. I
Are
now
you taking it
understand.
serious? You're taking it more
Yeah,
like serious?
I
Like,
understand now when people tell me you'll see when you have child. You see the difference. Now I can see what people been telling me. Like I'm being more organized. I care more about everything. It's it's not like a more sensitive. No, I have put more attention into it, into everything I do. Like I have to put detail into everything. You know? Okay. And let's say 1 year ago, whatever I was working, I had issues in my work. Okay, whatever, fire me. Now I don't think like that. My mentality changed. I don't want to get fired. I mean, I can't afford to be fired. I have responsibilities at home, you know?
And that's the pressure that we have, of life when we're responsible.
And that comes with maturity.
Mm-hmm.
And we need that before we're having a child.
Yeah, I agree with you, man, on that. I think I think for the people that want to be fathers, I think the generation now, I don't even know if they want to have kids, right? But I'm talking for the guys, right, that want a traditional home. I think, yes, the school, yes, the job, yes, the maturity, yes, the, what's it called?
Bounce tight.
Um, you definitely want to have something good going for yourself because women are going to evaluate you. They're going to test you from the beginning. You'll be lucky if you have a girlfriend or fiance that's always been there since you were a teenager or high school or college. That's perfect. That's awesome, right? But most cases are not gonna be like that. Most cases you're gonna have to find your woman, whether it's at work, whether it's outside of work, whether it's at a vacation somewhere, whether it's at a summit somewhere, whether it's at the club, whatever,
Yeah,
right?
she's not coming to you.
Um, No, 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 no. You have to make the first move. 9 times out of 10, it's good if she takes initiative because I think, look, when a girl makes a move, it shows interest, natural interest. By the way, it shows like genuine interest. Okay, when you approach the girl, yeah, you're supposed to do that. That's what's expected. But when a girl shows interest, it's um it's something almost guaranteed because what happens is like once she shows interest, you don't have to work for her interest. It's already there.
Yeah.
You just have to prove her that she chose the right guy.
And keep proving every single day.
And from that moment you're tested.
Yeah.
And you're always gonna be tested. And then she's gonna decide if she's gonna give you excuses to see you or not. Prioritize you. Then she's gonna decide she's gonna know, she's gonna do things naturally without forcing it to make you believe that she wants to be there for the long term. And that's when you start thinking as a guy, when you have your job, your education, all that in a order, right? In that
Yeah.
order. Then maybe it'll be time for her to feel like it's time to get fertile, to be fertile, and to have a family.
Yeah.
I think you should start involving her in plans of the future when it comes to family. Make her feel included, but at the same time, do it with the right girl. You don't want to do it with the wrong girl, right? Because when you do it with the wrong girl, when I mean how do you know it's the wrong girl? If you're not happy with her, if you always feel anxiety with her, if you don't, if you feel like she's controlling you too much, if she's
Yeah.
if she's insecure,
If
if
you
if she
feel like,
wants attention, a lot of attention from other men, other people validation, that's not the girl you want.
yeah, if you feel like you don't know when it's gonna end, you keep thinking about that, that's not the right one.
Yeah, if you feel like she's gonna leave you if you put her in her place, she's
Yeah.
not the one.
Yeah.
And the sooner you catch these red flags, the less the headache is gonna be. So I know it sucks. I get it. Being a lonely man sucks. I'm telling you because I go through that every day. Going to sleep with a hole in your chest because of anxiety and loneliness. Let me tell you, I get the feeling. But you don't want to be with somebody that's gonna give you a headache and it's not gonna appreciate what you do for them either. So it's always good to have the room to give somebody an opportunity that might want to be there and might
Yeah.
want to take care of you than being with somebody that fills that spot that doesn't deserve you. It hurts to accept it. It hurts to admit it. It hurts to finally realize it. even if it's too late, or even if it's not too late and you came this far to let that go. But if you're not happy, you're not gonna be happy. If you're not happy now, you're not gonna be happy after you marry her. As a matter of fact, you might be miserable and put a bullet in
Yeah.
your head when you get that divorce and they take all your shit.
Yeah.
So I think it's something you can avoid if you're listening to this conversation. um I mean, as a
Take
man,
advice.
I've been
Yeah.
through a lot of that stuff, you know.
Yeah.
um
People watching this should take this advice. This is good advice from someone that's went through all that shit and is still here with us
And the good thing about
fighting.
being a man, Peter, is that you don't have time. I mean, you don't have the worry about time. You can be 50 and you can still make kids.
Yeah.
You know, so we don't have to worry about rushing to. Yes, I don't want to be old when I have my kids because I want to play with them. I get
Like
that,
I said,
but I
yeah.
can still have kids. You
Yeah.
know, if I'm well off financially, I can put him in a good sport. I can support them like that. I can go see their games. I can go tell them, to never give up. I can always life coach them. Things like that. Sure, I might not be able to play with them, run around with them, but at least I know I'm able to support them in most ways possible.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, life is not gonna be perfect. Life is not gonna be perfect. You will always have obstacles. You might get sick. You might lose your job. You might lose your house. You might lose your car. Something is gonna things are gonna happen while
Yeah.
you're going through all those these experiences, because that's life. That's life, and life when he wants to give you a lesson, he'll give it to you, even if you think you're doing things right, and you have to compete. You have to compete because that's the only way to stay afloat. There's inflation. I think a lot of us are not understanding or underestimating how bad it is. But it's hard to afford a house now. It's really hard. It's very difficult. Even if you work as a team. For example, if you're earning $45,000 and she's earning $45,000 a year, is that gonna be enough? I don't even know at this point.
No.
So if you don't make over 100,000 a year as a couple, you're not gonna have a chance in this market right now unless
Yeah.
it crashes. Then again, I don't know, but it's hard out there right now.
And with crashes, you need the money anyways. You need to have that money.
Yeah, and it was 20% of $300,000 is what, 60,000, right?
Yeah, around that.
Yeah, so that's down payment for a conventional loan. The down payment you have to put, and it's no joke. The economy right now is not in good terms, and man, take this shit serious. I don't know about women, but you guys have to be smart with this shit because women always want to see you at the finish line. It's just the reality. Most women, they don't want to go through your struggles. They don't want to go. They don't want to know your struggles. They just want to know when you finished and you have the final product to offer.
Blessed be the man that finds a woman that struggle and go through the struggle with his man, because that's a blessing. That's a blessing.
Well, Piero, for the last part here, because we have to go. This podcast probably like 3 hours already.
We're good.
But my question to you now, Piero, and I know you say you're gonna say it in Spanish.
Yeah.
Um, what is something you would like to what is something you would like to daughter to know um about you and how and what you're doing now to make sure she's always gonna be safe and that she's never gonna feel alone as long as you're around.
Uh, pregunta. So, yo quisiera que en algún momento en el futuro mi hija pudiera ver esto, y seguro lo puede ver porque ya el internet es un gran archivo de todo. Y yo quisiera, más que responderte la pregunta, quisiera dejarle como un mensaje,
Dale,
que algo que
esto es el momento.
algo que yo quisiera que viera, y es que todo lo que yo estoy haciendo, todo lo que yo hago, todo lo que yo pienso, todas las cosas que yo siento, yo lo hago siempre contigo en la cabeza, pensando en ti. Siempre todo lo que, todas las acciones que yo tomo, tú eres la principal razón que yo pienso antes de tomar esas decisiones o tomar esas acciones. Yo todavía estoy aprendiendo a cuidarte. No ha sido tanto tiempo, pero yo creo que estoy creciendo y creo que estamos creciendo juntos. Y verte crecer de una forma tan rápida me hace preguntar si que lo estoy haciendo bien. Me cuestiono, pero yo creo que sí, porque los hijos estoy viendo que los hijos sienten lo que sienten los padres hasta cierto punto. Creo que los hijos sienten mucho. Desde pequeña edad, la forma en que un niño te ve, te reconoce cuando tú estás triste y cuando tú estás feliz, tú puedes ver la diferencia. Entonces, agregarle que todo lo que yo vaya a hacer por ti, yo no voy a hacer nunca que haga algo malo, va a ser para tratar de perjudicarte. Todo lo que yo vaya a hacer, siempre pensando en ti, mi hija. Voy a trabajar, voy a seguir creciendo, voy a trabajar, ayudar a tu madre, voy a seguir trabajando, voy a crecer como profesional, voy a seguir estudiando, me voy a seguir preparando. Y nada de eso que yo estoy haciendo, ni voy a seguir haciendo, ni voy a hacer, lo estoy haciendo por mí, lo estoy haciendo por ti. Porque eso es lo que tú te mereces. Ese es el legado. Y también esa es la forma de yo romper el ciclo. Porque yo haciendo todo eso de manera positiva es yo romper un ciclo.
Okay. Muy lindas palabras, la verdad, porque a veces um, cuando nuestros hijos van creciendo y los vamos corrigiendo y llegan a una etapa de la adolescencia, a veces como que empiezan a experimentar mucho sus hormonas al punto donde no ven los esfuerzos que los padres hacen para poder cuidarlos y proveer para ellos pero espero que cuando ella esté más grande y entienda, te escuche y pueda siempre acordarse de esas palabras cuando ella pues quizás no vea bien las cosas, ¿no? Porque
Sí, que uno
todos
entienda.
pasamos por ahí.
Sí.
Este, yo creo que
Y
lo
tú,
que
Jeffrey, no tiene algo para el futuro que... Bueno, ya no para el futuro no, porque ya tiene acceso a internet y todo, pero...
yo creo que a mis hijas creo que lo que yo les dijera, I'm gonna say in English.
Yo qué sé, en inglés ya...
I'm Steimer. Um,
Take the switch.
I think that if my daughters are listening to me right now, I know the oldest is gonna understand. The little one, when she's older, she will understand. I think I want to tell them that everything I done and everything that I'm doing and everything that I will continue to do is gonna be for them. It's gonna be to make sure that they're always gonna have a home. They're always gonna have a roof over their head. Um, they're always gonna be protected as long as I'm alive. Nobody's gonna come and hurt them. Um, there will always be a male figure, a male presence in their lives that's always gonna make sure nothing happens to them. Um, and that's gonna make sure that any male, any man that wants to be in their lives when they want to get married or they want to start a family, I have to make sure that they're gonna be good men, men that are gonna take care of them, and it's gonna protect them, and that's not gonna let the world just hurt them without a fight. Um, I think I know I'm far from being the perfect father. I know I have my issues. I know I'm not perfect at all. I know that maybe I can be a little um, strict. It hurts me when I have to put my foot down, when I have to discipline my kids in a way um, that requires a certain tone. But I hope that one day they understand that it's not to see them cry, it's not to make them cry, it's not to cause them pain, but it's more so I can tell them that the world is not as easy, that life is not as easy as they see it at that moment, because life will throw them challenges, obstacles, tests, and I try to teach them the best way possible so when they face them, I want them to be strong and expect the force that's gonna come with it. I uh I love them very much. I'm the only father they'll ever have. I hope they forgive me if I ever hurt them in the process of being a good father. Um, but my intentions are always gonna be for their safety, for their love, for their well being, so they can make the right decisions in the future. And I hope that I can be a good example in their life as I continue to grow, because I believe I still got a lot to do to grow as a man, as a father, and as a person. But I want them to know that I strive every day to be a better father. And I know in the process I will continue to make mistakes, but that's not gonna stop me from trying. So that's all I can tell them right now, and that to always know I will always be there when they feel alone. That it will always be there.
That's good, man. That's good. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
All right,
For
Piero.
that clip.
Let's wrap this up. Thank you for coming.
No,
I know
no.
we talked a little bit about everything,
Yeah.
and I try my best to stay on the fatherhood aspect of things, but sometimes things got out of line just because it got connected to the fatherhood.
Yeah.
What can we do? What can we do? I mean, fatherhood.
It's complicated. It's complicated.
Fatherhood should represent masculinity, and masculinity is connected to everything that women expect us to be.
Yeah.
End of story. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Thank you for everyone for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and we'll continue to make more content for you. Thank you, Piero, once again. Thank you. I hope your baby is doing well. I hope your wife is doing well. And I'll continue to see you at work. Whenever we have another topic, you're always going to be welcome to come.
Yeah.
And you know what? Your English is good, man. Your English is good. I know your message, you wanted to do it in Spanish, but the whole thing, I think you did extremely well.
Thank you. I'm getting better. I'm getting there.
You did your best, man. I tell you, man. You do great. You're doing great. I like it.
I'll do better. I want my daughter to speak English.
She will. Especially if she watches the Velasquez show, she's gonna.
Yeah, she's gonna watch it.
She's
Of
gonna
course,
watch you. She's gonna watch us. She's gonna be like, "That's my daddy,"
Yeah.
So just keep up the good work, man. I think you're doing great. I think you have the mindset where you're supposed to be the best father possible. Happy Father's Day once again. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there that are doing their best to be in their kids' lives.
That's it.
That's it.
Pra.